the black tech ecosystem are all of the players who are in the space of developing, fortifying, and exposing technology makers.
It's like any other ecosystem where you have a number of different factors, right? And those factors have to come together to create an environment where there's life and where there's growth. How we're going to change that in the future with a healthy ecosystem is exposing young people to the opportunities that are out there for them before they go into college.
So if I think about a technology ecosystem, that's probably looking like education, investment, products, companies, people, community, all involved with one another to support the existence of one another.
I feel like the state of the black tech ecosystem in Chicago is great. It's obviously, there's always going to be room for improvement, but we compare Chicago with other cities and some of the initiatives that are taking place in Chicago. Chicago's on the forefront of a lot of things, and I think we don't give ourselves enough credit for that.
I think that in the past it's been a little bit fragmented and disjointed. But I'm happy to say that I think it's getting better. I think that there's a great need for Black Tech Mecca, right? And it's really important because so many folks are doing such important work and we don't even know about each other. There's also the element of sort of I've got to build mine versus collaborating and working with others. And there is such a great need for us to do that in order for us to come together and really be a force in technology and entrepreneurship. We have to find the unification.
Yeah, I think right now everybody wants to say that the only tech people are the folks that are college educated, that are doing very well for themselves, and they just came over from consulting and now they're tech. But at the same time, everybody can excel in the space, and it's a matter of just how much time you put into it. Are the pathways consistent? Are you putting in the right pre-apprenticeship programs, the right apprenticeship programs to ensure that folks have those opportunities to be able to learn? And other cities are providing those opportunities. One, for instance, there's an initiative out of the White House called the Tech Hire Initiative, which is all about apprenticeship programs with the Department of Labor to ensure that folks can actually fill these tech jobs. Chicago's not one of those cities. Why not?
Capital. Oh, and capital, right? And I don't know if I mentioned that, capital.
We need better branding around blacks in tech. We need better branding to the government and the foundations to say, take some investment in this. Real investment, real dollars, not just, a $50,000 grant that does nothing for the state of blacks in tech in Chicago. It does nothing when other cities are investing millions of dollars to make this stuff happen.
We can build products, you can learn how to develop, but without capital, it's very difficult to assemble a team. Without capital, it's very difficult to continue to grow into a more, a stronger organization.
Ultimately, what we're talking about is building wealth. We need a strong economic base so that we can have strong families, so that we can have strong individuals, so that we can grow and have sustainable communities.
I think that until we become the makers, we will be enslaved to those who make for us. Because the shift from consumer to a maker is power.
I think that the impact that Black Tech Mecca and the development of a thriving black ecosystem could be of tremendous benefit to the city of Chicago on so many levels. Our ecosystem is not existing by itself. It's within a larger ecosystem. And there's a strong effort to make Chicago the tech Mecca. On high political and governmental and corporate levels. They want that to happen here. So what we want to be able to do is to make sure that we benefit from that. And then what we bring to that is we bring diversity. Why is that diversity needed? Because the money that's being generated here, so much of it comes from minority communities. By having more African Americans involved in corporations, in advertising, in marketing, and all these technological areas, whether it's science, technology, engineering, math, that's going to help corporations and businesses be able to relate and be able to communicate and also be able to maintain African American and other minority customers.
I think we have to begin to show examples of community residents solving community-related problems with technology. Imagine what happens when we see that young African-American girl, 9 years old, build an app that's completely sweeping through middle schools across the country, right? What does that mean for other middle school students that see her and see that product that she built and see how many people use it, and her talk about the metrics that she's getting, user engagement? What does that look like? And we see the empowerment that she has.
It's both leadership and technology. How do we marry both of these things? Technology on its own, just teaching programming, there are plenty of great schools that do that. But the real power, the humming, comes from when we marry those together and say, we're not just developing the next generation of technologists. It's about community leadership. It's about the next generation of entrepreneurs who understand that at the end of the day, leadership is making opportunities for others.